writes that?
So this collapsed grave belonged to James Bankart, who died in October of 1902, age 68, and for 30 years was a surgeon to the hospital and eye infirmary in this city, so in Exeter. It was also the grave of Gertrude Bankart, widow of James Bankart, died New Year's Eve 1930, age 37.
But what happened before they died? So as the headstone says, James Bankart was a surgeon. He was educated at Guy's Hospital and after receiving his qualification became the house surgeon, surgical registrar, and senior demonstrator of anatomy. In 1869, he settled in Exeter and by the following year was appointed the registrar to the West of England Eye Infirmary, and by 1872 was appointed surgeon at the same infirmary as well as the Devon and Exeter Hospital. He resigned 23 years later because he was approaching the age limit that was allowed to practice, at which time he was appointed a consulting surgeon and governor of the hospital. Both his obituary published in the British Medical Journal and his write-up on the Royal College of Surgeons website state that he was an excellent anatomist, an able operator, a surgical consultant of wide experience, and a distinguished eye surgeon. Of himself personally, it said that he was very tall, over 6 feet, and that he had a very sad and depressing face. Who writes that? Beyond his profession, he was a husband and a father to 5 children. He was ambidextrous, unimpressionable, and cautious almost to a fault. His hobbies included playing the violoncello and being the treasurer of the Exeter Musical Society. And if anybody's interested, his papers are held at the Wellcome Collection in London. His widow, Trudy, whose full name was Gertrude Bankart, née Moss. According to her obituary, she had been sick for several months before dying on New Year's Eve, 1930. Even in her obituary, it states that she is the widow of Mr. J. Bankart, one of the best-known eye specialists in the West of England, and that's 28 years after he died. Her funeral was presided by the Dean of Exeter, the Canon, and the Precentor, and it began at the Exeter Cathedral, not at St. David's Parish Church where she was buried. Once remitted to St. David's Parish Churchyard, she was buried in an oak coffin with a breastplate that bore the inscription, Gertrude Bankart, entered into rest 31st December 1930, aged 87 years. And while they don't say much about her personally, her services were very well attended with people from the community, her friends and family all gathering, even some coming from as far afield as London.